Yeah, welcome to Coffee and Cannabis. I'm your host, Alyza, and this is...
Corey, what up?
And we back to just us. What's up, boo? You miss me?
No, I see you every week, multiple times a week.
So you don't want to talk to just me? We always talking to somebody else.
Always. We literally talk like every day.
I know, but people like to see us talk to each other. That sounds kind of weird, actually. Yeah, anyways...
So don't get it twisted. We literally talk to each other like every single day.
Yeah, we do. I'm his work wife. That's what I tell him. And his wife is
but
so
we
lucky.
don't work at this.
And because I'm gay. His wife loves it. It's the best kind of work wife situation you could have. All right, so today we're sticking with Eric's Coffee. Eric Legrand, shout out to him, Coffee Shop Woodbridge. Go support. What are we smoking?
This is Tahoe Cream.
Tahoe Cream. Okay. So, and then it's still Women's Month. So, respect women worldwide. Shout out my guy Kip, Jersey City. Support local businesses. And it's back to us. It's back to the basics. Can you believe we're here? We're like, I don't even know what number, but...
Jalen, how many episodes are we in?
Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah. Was this 10?
Like, comment, subscribe. He's still thinking, you see? Yeah,
I'm doing what you said 11. To do.
Huh?
Like, comment, subscribe.
Shout out to our producer, Jalen.
Oh, man.
Like, comment, subscribe, the little bell thing.
All the things.
Hit the bell thing. Do that.
Listen, he's been incredible. He's been, you guys liking it? Like,
I'm very proud of him. Yo, y'all see our little thumbnails? We got the illest thumbnails in the game.
Fire.
Fire thumbnails.
Fire. Listen.
A little 21-year-old producer.
Genius. He's a genius young man, and this is the type of stuff when we talk about that we want to give people opportunity. We want to groom people to be the future leaders of the nation, but in other industries, but also of cannabis specifically. He's, a black man, young black man, and he's finding his way. So shout out to Jalen.
Yo, Jalen's wild. He's sitting there smoking while he produces right now. He's sitting back. Smoke CBD. You're smoking CBD? Oh, okay.
Oh, he tried to. Well, he got to kind of.
He has to function, yeah.
Yes, so he has to tone himself down, and we've spoken on that, how the relationship between CBD and THC and it really being a yin and a yang. But what's really crazy is that Corey and I smoke every episode.
And we try to function.
We get high every episode. I'm sure from the beginning you see us pepped up, and then by the end, we'd be looking a little faded. I know some of y'all be like...
You've been faded. Yeah. You've definitely been faded.
Listen, Mr. Coughmaster, I don't want to hear it. You've had some moments.
Pause. Yeah, I be coughing, but I've looked over at you and just saw, it's like, fam.
And I still be spitting that shit. That's what I'm saying. People, the stigma that, people who smoke, either they can't function or, they can't be high-level professionals. Y'all don't know it, but some of y'all favorite executives blow it down.
Yeah. I know, especially being in the industry, I know a lot of executives that start their day off hitting something.
Yes.
Just to function. It's probably for all y'all safety. They probably be hitting that in the morning so that they don't end up getting angry and firing half of y'all.
Seriously.
Just saying.
Yo. It'd be stressful at the top, and you be needing something to manage that anxiety. But it's so terrible that it's such a stigma behind it that we've only seen a certain kind of look that people feel like that's the look, and I guess we lose credibility. Oh, you can't be, somebody who smokes weed. So I want y'all to really watch this podcast and understand we sit here, we drink coffee, we smoke real weed, and sometimes we do episodes back to back where we're still smoking.
Facts.
And we're having high-level, intellectual, personal, and intimate conversations with people throughout the whole thing. And who cares if I'm a little by the end? We're still getting it done. So
Facts.
I hope that transcends to people that, you can still be an intellectual person. You see? I said what I said.
Oh, yeah.
Like, comment, and subscribe. And I said what I said.
All right.
Cough master.
I can't help it. It hit. Fuck, that really fucked me up.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You really be getting high on this show, yo.
All I'm saying is that there's smart people smoke weed. All I'm saying is
everyone smokes
smart
weed.
people smoke weed too.
Yeah.
Because you're right.
Well,
Everybody does smoke weed.
Well, one of the things with working in the industry is, and being around dispensaries and just seeing, especially on like a Thursday, Friday, and seeing the line going out the door.
Yes.
And you'd be like, yo, everyone smokes weed.
Crazy. The
It's really
diversity of
wild.
those lines, old, young, freaking black, white, brown, everything.
Yeah.
Male, female.
Everybody smokes weed. This
Everyone
stigma,
is smoking weed and the lines be crazy.
the stigma that like, it's a certain kind of person that smokes weed is absurd.
I'm so over
any
that.
any person that's been in a busy dispensary for longer than an hour, everyone smokes weed.
Everyone.
Your grandmama was smoking weed.
Yep.
Everyone is up in there. It's really wild. Like I've like literally
It's
sat there and
wild.
been like,
It's a beautiful
I'm
thing.
like,
though.
really? Even me, I was really?
I know it's like weird to see, but also
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I see you.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of people are smoking weed to function. Instead of taking pills or whatever, smoking weed, just to hit even if it's a one hitter,
Yeah.
hitting a vape. The cool thing now is walking around and seeing people with the little vape tip poking out their pocket. And you're like, oh,
Yep, you
no,
know.
I see what you got there. I see that you're trying to maintain something, right?
Yep.
But yeah, especially if you on some boss status and you got employees and all that, sometimes you need that little hit to just be like, all right, cool out. We're not gonna black out on nobody
That's
today.
a big fact.
Because
That's a big fact.
Weed is probably weed saves lives
It definitely saved my life.
and jobs. Yeah.
And jobs, and it gives more jobs and more opportunity, and the black and brown community more capability to have accessibility to wealth. This is a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. And shout out to all the guests we've had so far. We've had
Yes.
some phenomenal guests.
yes, we have.
We've had some phenomenal guests that brought some phenomenal gifts with them.
Yes.
All
What
types
is your
of-
favorite gift, Corey?
Listen, that
He
shit.
be putting the pressure. He be
that
like,
shit
you can't
Hatham
pull up
brought.
empty-handed.
Yeah, that shit Hatham brought.
Oh yeah,
That shit was fire.
that
But
definitely had to bring
And
us
then
back.
Brandon came up here with all the goodies.
Yes.
Had all the goodies here. You know what I mean? Like we've had some good ones. Even Rose brought us coffee cups. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
That was
we
very
definitely-
attorney appropriate.
Yeah. We got the wonderful gift of using Chris's house studio.
Oh my
one
God!
time, remember
Yes, that was hilarious.
Y'all don't know what we've been through to do these podcasts. I got stuck on the Pulaski Skyway for an hour. Remember, I literally
Yes.
my car was parked. We were just sitting there
Yep.
for an hour on the way trying to do the podcast. So
But then, you know what? Then we patronized local business that we always come around the way and eat at. We broke bread together, right?
Yep,
Brendan
yep.
was there, and so it's all good things. But it's really true. Like, this is a few weeks in, and there's been tremendous growth, and we have really already had quite some funny experiences. People banging on the door, freaking construction, like so
Yeah.
many things happening. But I mean, I'm sure the viewers probably notice it, but how do you feel like our growth from day one to now? Because I remember our first episode, I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
It was my idea, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Like, I'm usually like, how did she rope me into this mess? I think we've had tremendous growth. I think the speed in which we get set up, run, operations guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like the speed of like that we get going, get the podcast going, one take,
Yeah.
minimal editing.
It's getting better on the editing.
Like we're quick. And the other part I think a lot of people don't realize is like we record these usually Friday or Saturday and put them out Monday morning.
Yeah.
Like the speed even that like Jalen is doing
The editing, the
editing,
turnover.
clipping.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we be having clips like the
That's
same
big.
weekend, like
That's
within
big.
a day or two. So that side of it is like
Yep.
we've definitely got a lot better.
Yes.
We've upgraded some things, This beautiful mic stand I got now. If you watch the early episodes, it's me fighting with the mic. Pause. I'm like trying to hold it and like that shit. Like I really thought it was gonna fall on me sometimes. But now I think we're in a good spot with that too. So
The first one we had that black background, that was terrible.
as
That
soon
shit
as we
looked
got off
hideous.
that, it was like, we're getting rid of that background shit.
Never again. It's raw. This is our spot. Whatever, we here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
Freaking paying
so
rent, might as well
we
use it.
that part. We're paying the rent, might as well be here. So we're getting there going. We're hopefully close to construction.
Yeah.
And making some things
Please, planning
making
board.
some things happen, get these permits in, and then you guys, all of you, are gonna see that growth in the facility as we go through.
Oh, that's gonna be super dope.
And hopefully we'll probably get to some point where we have to go record this somewhere else
Yeah.
while the construction is really, really going. But, you know, we'll come in and take videos, do some behind the scenes kind of stuff as well. So I think we'll be, you know, all these third-party, indirect businesses in the cannabis world that, you know, whether it's accessories, making accessories, you got the whole can of food movement with the chefs doing stuff as well.
Yes, that's super dope.
Lounges, you know, culture kind of stuff. Like, and then even on the running side, you have security, third-party security companies, cleaning companies, lawyers, CPAs, architect, people that, you know, are specific to cannabis, design companies, and, you know, different things. There's a lot of ways to get into cannabis without ever touching the plant, ever needing a license. You know, it's just, you can be involved in the culture without ever selling weed in itself. And so I think there's a lot of opportunities.
Tremendous opportunity.
There,
yeah, tremendous opportunity.
But talking about licenses.
What about?
This Claridge Hotel thing.
Oh, Jesus.
So in
really
AC, somehow they got awarded to be able to do a cannabis dispensary and lounge basically on the boardwalk.
Yeah. But I think people haven't really investigated how they really pulled that off, because the general knowledge is that the casino commission didn't want it on the boardwalk. So everybody's thing is just like, well, how did this happen? So some of the information behind it is that it's technically not attached to the boardwalk, it's
attached to a building that is on the boardwalk, though.
Which is that's such a crazy strategy, right? Because the other thing is that they don't have a casino inside. Mm-hmm. So because they don't have a casino inside, they're not violating any federal prohibitions. So it's like, how are they that's going to be crazy. Like, it's going to be the closest thing to the boardwalk. You know, in Atlantic City, that's one of the challenges they have, is that they have great tourism, but people don't often go off the boardwalk and patronize shops in the city and allow that market to thrive. But
the other part of it is that Atlantic City's been very vocal about this orange loop, their kind of green zone, with super, you know, supposed to be entertainment-based, cannabis-based, kind of cannabis safe place, and everyone's been planning around that. So for this place to kind of come swoop in and get in there, and mind you, not be in the orange loop,
right,
is it's interesting. It kind of goes. It's like, you know, when you go to the planning board and they have the mayor or the municipality's general scope of what, like
the master plan,
of that
and
city,
what they want that to look
where
like,
we want things to go, and
right.
It's pretty well known that the orange loop is part of that.
The redevelopment.
Yeah. So the fact that this place got approved to do it blatantly out of the orange loop, which goes against, is counteractive to the master plan for the city, is kind of interesting. That's, you know, it's sneaky.
I mean, listen, I'm all about strategy. So if you could figure out how to make it happen, my whole thing is like, what was your, like, what are you doing? Like, who are you giving? I hope you have a tremendous opportunity to give back to Atlantic City. And my understanding is that this is going to be a $3 million renovation. So respectfully, I'm going to make an assumption, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe when this airs, I'm wrong. But I'm going to make an assumption that is not anyone from any disadvantaged group. Because we out here struggling to raise $500,000, $1 million, 1.5, maybe 2 if we're lucky, and that's on the retail side, right? Yeah. Cultivation is different numbers. I'm comparing apples to apples, or you know what I'm saying. So for us retail people, almost no one has a facility that's going to cost them over $2 million. So for you to be at 3.5, you have to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's not somebody from our community, which, fine. Market share. But what you gonna do for that city?
But the other thing is, they landed also a cultivation license, which I didn't know you could, now at least, land a cultivation and a dispensary license, except for the original MSOs.
Now, to me, that's the sneaky part.
Yeah,
right.
So
that's not the strategy. I was like,
how did you land both of those
maybe
right
it's
now?
Sneaky strategy.
Well, maybe it's 2 different names. But shout out to Faye Coleman, a wonderful, beautiful black woman out there doing her thing. To open up her retail space across from the Hard Rock.
Yep. That's a great location,
you know what I mean?
too.
So shout out to her.
Yep.
When she opens.
Champion that woman.
Yeah, when she
Atlantic
opens,
City,
support
y'all really
her.
better get, support her.
Faye
get
about
behind
to
her.
do it. Faye gonna
Yeah.
get busy.
Yes.
You have questions for me today?
Do I have questions? Jalen, do we have questions? Guys, I'm telling you, we
This
on
is
a
Corey
run.
Jackson.
What?
This is about to be.
You don't
know Jack. Intro myself.
Look at this guy with these commercials. Like, all right, we're not going to keep it too crazy today. We've been on a long run, so you got no idea. But for anybody to smoke this much back to back to back and have this type of conversations, like, this needs. Matter of fact, that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, listen, I'm fucking high. I would be wrong high. But I was saying that somebody was telling me about our podcast. Like, they were saying that that it's great and that the conversations are necessary, but also that most of the podcasts that are out right now that are related to cannabis are either very like niche based, or they like are specific to cultivation, and we're giving like such a broad conversation. This is really filling an empty space, because these types of conversations were always necessary, but are definitely necessary right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And we're bringing them to the forefront, right? Like we had a couple ex-trappers and different kind of trappers, right? Because they were like different kind of trappers. And then we to an educational and banking professional, an attorney, somebody who's been an OG in the industry. Like, this has been a run.
We had Professor Droop Pop. We had Professor Droop. You know what I mean? Your brother.
Sit down, light your blunts. Let's learn some shit.
Yeah. Professor
Oh
Droop.
my God, yo, we've had a lot of laughs too. It's been fun. It's cool.
No, definitely.
But all right, let me give you don't know Jack. So, how does the use of technology impact cannabis cultivation and production? Oh, you should run with this one. I know you got this.
This is my whole career. Well, you have the indoor grow scenes with the multi-levels. So, it's a whole lot of engineering with just building the room to grow the plants. The watering systems, like when you toured, you saw the amount of like watering and process piping that goes into making a really high level cultivation place. And then outside of the indoors, you have the greenhouse grows. So like that's using Dutch greenhouse style, and there's a whole bunch of science that goes into that. Even with the especially like the ones that have the glass roofs, where you're, so now you're getting into par levels with light and secondary lighting systems. It's a lot. Like, listen, if you're working in production in any capacity, or CPG or engineering, like that's super transferable to cannabis. Like, even the accessories, we're seeing all these different accessories.
Always.
Seeing all these different accessories come out. There's engineering behind all that stuff. Like when you talk about the proxies and all the different equipment, vaporizers, there's a lot of technology in the vaporizers. You get the C cells, the ceramic ones. So everything is transferable. All of that stuff works well into this industry, especially when you're talking about production.
Yep. Get your resume right and come over to weed.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be.
And then you can smoke and not have to worry about a piss test.
Yes. And you could be yourself. All right. What are some potential safety concerns associated with the cannabis industry? This is also a very good one. Potential safety concerns.
Biggest safety concern is because cannabis companies are okay with their employees smoking cannabis. It's, can't be high while working. A lot of people show up and think that when they go, like when you went to the grow and stuff, like there's a bunch of just stoners hanging out.
Yeah, no
and
people are working.
And it's like, no, this is a real 9 to 5. People have benefits.
Yep.
And this is work.
Yep.
Right? And so, sometimes you're fighting that narrative of just like, oh, we're just hanging out. No, this is work. We're making a product. This is a full indoor garden. We're controlling environmentals and things like that. And that requires you to be on your A game.
Right.
So, as with any factory world.
And a factory setting, because that's a dangerous setting.
As with any factory world, though, it's a dangerous setting, and sometimes people don't understand that that's still that way in cannabis as well. Yep. We got loading docks, forklifts, and all the same stuff that everybody else has. So, but the big one is, oddly enough, in cultivation, like trimming and harvesting shears and stuff. see a lot of hand cuts. A lot of people accidentally nipping their hand, cutting their hand with trimming shears, or when they do a harvest and they're cutting the plants down, those shears as well.
Yeah, I could expect that. But they, I mean, you're right. They got to understand, like, if this is a billions and billions of dollar industry and someone is growing this and producing it, you really think there's a bunch of people slumped back there that's not making the product right?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Like, I don't understand people's logic. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. How do you think that these products come to fruition? Like, somebody has got to go through that whole process, and somebody has got to, know the science behind the nutrients and the water and all that stuff. And guess what? That person probably still smokes weed, and they still go to their job, and they do their job because it's a regular 9 to 5. It's work.
It is real science into creating commercial weed, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially when you start talking about vapes, you're talking about running a distillation equipment, working with gallons and gallons of ethanol.
Yep.
And trying not to blow up the building, burn down the building. When you're doing hydrocarbon stuff with the butane and the propanes, they're running that extractor in a C1D1 bomb-proof booth. Like that's, people don't understand that. Like, the glassware stuff, like straight out of a chem lab, for gummies with the making kitchens, running, commercial kitchens. Like, this is all real stuff. We're taking stuff from real industry. I'm looking at the same chocolate equipment that the chocolatiers are looking at when you're talking about making a chocolate bar. It's real shit.
Yeah. And you're still making a chocolate bar anyway, right? You're just infusing it.
Yeah, just infusing
it's still a chocolate bar.
Hopefully with hash and not with distillate, make it all oily and nasty.
I hope that there's opportunity in New Jersey to make a lot of really creative products, because, that's the one thing that I do really appreciate about Cali is that when you go there, there's so many different products on the market, and there's so much cool branding and things that people can associate themselves with. I hope that our market can become that vast and diverse.
The two main things that Jersey still doesn't allow is it doesn't allow cannabis infused drinks.
Yep.
And Jersey still doesn't allow cannabis infused chocolate.
Yep.
Directly yet. People think that'll change, but
yep. And the lozenges name, right? That was like a thing for a minute.
No, that was more New York. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was more New York, where you couldn't have gummies, but you could call it a chew or a lozenge. It was still just a gummy.
Yeah.
It was just I don't know.
The language is crazy.
They had an issue with the language. But, the can of beverage is a big one, because when you talk to people on the West Coast, a lot of people I know on the West Coast don't drink as much because they drink cannabis-infused drinks.
Right.
Like,
that is true.
Like, they'll go out and, pop a can of punch, Olivia, whatever, and drink that and get their little buzz off that, and don't want to drink alcohol. And, also then you get into, like, how they drive home and all that kind of stuff,
Right.
But they're just getting a little buzz off of a cannabis drink instead of throwing back a bunch of, drinks. And I think that's kind of a big thing in these more developed markets, is seeing the level of the reduction in alcohol use.
Yes.
Due to people being able to freely have cannabis in different forms. Yep.
I'm sure that's helped a lot of people kick some habits.
Yeah.
That's why when people are like, it's a gateway drug, I'm like, it's a drug that helps people not do other stuff. Like, are you serious? Have you seen somebody who smokes weed? They're chilling.
It's literally the opposite of a gateway drug. It's like, hey, you're addicted to pills. Smoke weed. Don't use the pills. It's like, that's literally the opposite of gateway.
Literally the opposite. I'm telling you.
The gateway drugs are at your pharmacy.
Yep. And I was just about to say, the VA had me on like 12 different pills at one time. And it gets to a point where you're like, I don't even know if these are going to like counter-react.
Yeah, how does this work together?
Yes. I was like, and I couldn't function. It was slowing me down. I'm like, listen, I know what kind of weed I like to smoke. I know what, how I need to dose myself and make it through the day. And, it saved my life. So here we are.
Yo, your furry hat is killing me.
You don't love it? You don't love it?
It's so cute.
It's cute.
I know. It's just, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, why is her hat?
Stop hating on my
Why is her
swag.
hat so fuzzy?
I get to be me every day. That feels
like
so
it.
good.
Listen, if you like it, I love it.
Good. You see?
Yeah, I mean.
This is the work wife relationship. You see, he knows happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. Listen, I just wear T-shirts. I be in hoodies and T-shirts and just be chilling.
The sneaker game be crazy though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I got a couple kicks.
The sneaker game be crazy. Yo, shout out to Corey's wife though, Tiffany. She's an incredible person, and
My wife is big time.
Yeah, but she's allowed us to do this and grow this together, and I know that this takes you away from what your life used to be. Like you are I mean, outside of the fact that you still work your regular job, but having 2 kids and, you guys both growing your careers
Dance
and
classes and
now you
ballet
be coming over
classes
here and doing these long ass runs. Like, shout out to the wives, both of our wives. They put up with a lot, but it's okay. We're gonna make you guys rich.
Yeah, listen, it's
And
all
Parker.
It's all for that. It's all
Parker waiting.
Parker can't wait. Yeah, she like, go to work, Daddy, get that money. That's a big fact. The real sneakerhead is K.
Oh, yes.
K got his collection is
Yep.
stupid. So I'm just trying to. I be
Keep
having
up?
to keep a little bit. I can't. It's not even a keep up kind of thing. It's so far away. I be check. You walk out the house, you're like, what sneakers he got on today? This collection is wild. Yeah. So.
Listen, this has been fun. I'm excited to see what it grows into. I hope that people continue to want to come on and share their story and talk to us and smoke and drink good coffee and celebrate great brands and just give good vibes, man. This is good, right?
Yeah, and then we're gonna do some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Gonna get you to potentially do your first smoke out of a rig for the first time.
Yep.
Put that on camera.
Yep. Shout out to Red and Grav.
Yeah, when they send.
I'm gonna play the game.
Yeah. I'm not big on that either. So
we're gonna talk more about that story.
That's gonna be a wild episode. It's gonna be high as shit.
It's like, I remember when I first took a dab. I was like, what? I was faded in 17 seconds.
Listen, even a rosin, like a live rosin cartridge.
Yep.
First time I hit one of those, I hit that thing. I was like, "Oh, that's a different kind of high."
Jesus.
I was like, "Oh,
take you out."
Yeah, there's definitely different ways to play.
Take you out.
Different types of cannabis to get into that like have you feel in a different kind of way. You gotta know your cannabis, know your dosing, and know what kind of day you're trying to have before you just do something all willy-nilly.
That's true. That is very true. We also have been telling the people that we're going to get our ending together. So
we're going to do it.
Have you thought of anything?
You asking me?
Have you guys thought of anything? How about this? When this comes out in the comments, give us an ending. We never know how to end. I got the beginning going. It's just real natural. It's Jersey, of course, right? And Corey always says, "Corey, what's up?" Do you remember the very first time that we did this, which was on a live? Ironically enough, when we were going to AC.
Yeah, we were driving to AC.
Yes,
in the car.
and you literally said along the lines of introducing yourself as like, "Corey, what's up?" Like,
I did?
Yes. I actually watched it earlier. I was like doing some reflecting and I'm like, wow, look at how far we've come.
That's
like,
really me. I just really, I'm here.
Yeah. And I think that just speaks to the authenticity. Like we're just being ourselves, but we didn't really come to a conclusion of how to end. So, I kind of maybe salute sometimes because I guess I was in the Navy and I've been saluting my whole life. So whatever. But give us some ideas. And by the time this comes out and you guys throw us some ideas, we'll put Jalen to work and put together a nice montage for you.
Maybe we'll have like a fade out. Like, do all that camera stuff, fade us out, or have the subscribe button pop up.
Yep, all the things,
all the sexy things that we don't know about.
Yeah, we're millennials. We're pretty hip, but the Gen Zers, these guys really know this internet stuff. They are really, really bright. Let me give you business 101. Get you some young people. Stop fighting with them. Collab, integrate. Teach them how to be leaders. They'll teach you how to be more technically savvy, and then you're going to build great companies together.
Yeah, listen to the kids.
Listen to the kids. This is all for them anyway.
There you go.
Shout out to our kids.
Peace.
They don't even know. Look, he's trying to end it already. We didn't even come up with an ending.
I thought that was the point. I thought it was like right there, hitting.
Okay, bye.
Bye.